Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we will be talking about what characters should have their own episode in more Tales of the Walking Dead. So I came up with 12 ideas. I wrote them down on a sticky note so I didn't forget them for this video. Up first, I have a Tyrese and Sasha episode of their start of the beginning of the outbreak. I think an episode about them, centered around them, would be very interesting because there's a lot that we still don't know about them. It could show us them meeting up with Alan and Donna, and I forget their kid's name. It was either Ben or Billy. I don't remember, but it shows them pre-prison. We could see them with their group that they were with before the prison. Next, I have Abraham and Eugene through their journey in Texas before they meet Rosita. In this episode, they could meet up with Althea from Fear the Walking Dead. We do know that they met up with her in one of the episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. We see one of Al's tapes that has, I forget what it has on it. I know it has doctor written on it and something for Abraham. I forget what it says exactly, but we could see what went down there. I know people were thinking that we were going to see them in the Althea tapes that were released on YouTube, but never did, and that's why those were review bombed by some people. But I'm kind of glad with what we got with that, because I wouldn't want Abraham and Eugene just to be in it for 1 minute. I would like to see their story and their journey through Texas up until they meet Rosita. Or maybe they could just have the episode where they meet Rosita and then move on. For the third episode, I would like it to be centered around Shumpert and Martinez. If you don't remember them, they were part of the governor's crew in Woodbury. We did see Martinez again for one episode in season 4, which he did say Shumpert got bit, but I would like to see what happens with them between the ending of season 3 and to where we meet them in season 4. After that, I think it'd be pretty cool if we saw what happened with Merle after he cut his hand off on the rooftop back in season 1. I think it'd be pretty cool to see his journey out of the city and when he runs into the governor. For my next choice, I chose Troy from Fear the Walking Dead. I think it'd be really cool to see what happens to him after the dam, because we never really got an explanation for that when he returned in season 8, which is kind of stupid that he returned. He should have died in season 3, but I love Troy as a character. He is my second favorite character on Fear, so anything else we can get with Troy, I'll take it. For the 6th episode, I would really like to see the Second Civil War. This was brought up in The Ones Who Live by Major General Beale when he was talking about Okafor after Okafor died. I think it'd be really cool to see this because we've never seen a big military firefight. I think it'd be pretty cool if we saw that, especially because we get to see how Beale gets his sword then, which he did explain it, but I think it'd be really cool to see that. And I think it'd be cool to see what it's like in his perspective when he sacrificed his city to save Philadelphia. Following that episode, I would love to see an episode of the Fall of Atlanta. This could be following Okafor, or it could be following Shane and Lori, and they would probably have to end up recasting Carl, which I know people would not be a fan of. I think it would be fine, but people would probably see that as a backslap after what happened with Chandler Riggs in season 8. So this episode could either be for Shane and Lori or for Okafor, or they could just make 2 whole episodes for this, have a view of Okafor and a view of Shane and Lori. Next, I would like to see what happened to Pearl Thorne and what her backstory is. We know that Okafor found her, but we don't know anything in between from there to when she met Rick and what really happened to her during the outbreak. I think it'd be pretty cool to see her trying to get back to her home, but fails, and then we could see Okafor this episode coming to save her, to take her to the CRM. After that, I think it'd be pretty cool to see Georgie. We haven't seen her since season 8. It's been a very long time. We know that Maggie left with Herschel to go with Georgie and her people, but we don't know if Georgie's alive. So if we could get a backstory of Georgie or what's happening now with her, I think that would be fine. The next episode would be the rise of the Commonwealth. We could see this through Pamela and Sebastian, which I know people probably wouldn't want to see Sebastian, but I think it'd be a nice idea to see how it came to be, because we never really found out how it came to be in the show or in the comics. We know that Pamela's father ran it for a little bit, but we don't know entirely as to what happened and the sacrifices that were made to keep the Commonwealth alive and going. Next, I would love to see a Rise of the Governor episode, kind of like the novel, but it can't really follow the novel too much because it did take some elements from the novel and implement them into season 4 when we saw the flashback episodes of the Governor. I think we could get at least half of the novel into an episode of what they didn't use, like seeing Penny turn and seeing what happened to the other characters that are in there, like Nick and the governor's brother. I think it would be really cool to see that in live action, but who knows? It's up to AMC. And for the final episode idea that I came up with, it would be the Rise of the Kingdom, or an Ezekiel backstory where he finds Shiva and becomes the leader of the kingdom. This episode could have many returning characters such as Jerry and Nabila, and what's that one dude's name? Richard, that's his name. I think it'd be really cool to see him again. I think it'd also be really cool if they could get Benjamin again. So we could see the rise of that and how all that happened, or how Ezekiel came across Shiva. We don't know much. We know Ezekiel was a zookeeper and saved Shiva. I think it'd be really cool to see that in live action once again. I think it'd be really cool to see Shiva live action once again, but that might cost them too much money, and we know how AMC is with their money. They don't like spending it. That's pretty much it for this video, everybody. I will see all of you in the next one. See ya.